compliance with the Open Public Meetings Law, I wish to state that on January 24, 2020, the notice of this meeting of the Upper Township Committee was posted on the official Township Bulletin Board, mailed to the Cape May County Gazette, the Atlantic City Press, the Ocean City Sentinel-Ledger, the Herald Times, and filed with the Township Clerk. Tonight's meeting is being video recorded up until the closed session portion of this meeting and will be available on UTTV Channel 97 on the Upper Township website. I hereby direct that this announcement be made a part of this meeting. I would ask all to rise so that our Eagle Scout, Mr. Holmes, can lead us through the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Stay there. Would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Barr?
Here.
Mr. Coggins?
Here.
Mr. Corson?
Here.
Mr. Young cannot be with us this evening. And Mayor Colombo.
Here.
Full members present.
So tonight, we have the honor of recognizing Evan Michael Holmes for his achieving the designation of Eagle Scout. It's something that this township is very fortunate to have a number of young men like yourself that have attained the honor of Eagle Scout, and it's a distinction that you'll carry with you for the rest of your life. And so I'd like to read the resolution and certainly congratulate you, and the committee will certainly congratulate you, and then recognize your family and your friends for all that they've done to help you get through this process. But it really is a great achievement, and I will say that many people that have attained the rank of Eagle Scout have gone on in many, many leadership roles. So I hope that one day you'll be sitting at one of these seats, maybe mine, that would be great, and you eventually take over that leadership position for the township. So let me read the resolution that includes the project that you did to obtain your Eagle Scout. So whereas Evan Michael Holmes of Troop 79, Marmora, New Jersey, recently attained the designation of Eagle Scout in the Boy Scouts of America, that the Township of Upper wishes to acknowledge the outstanding accomplishment of this remarkable young man. The Township Committee extends its sincere congratulations to Evan on the occasion of his receiving the designation of Eagle Scout and commends him for this outstanding accomplishment and the completion of his Eagle Scout project, which consisted of creating an outdoor learning space and enhancing the existing garden club for the Upper Township Elementary School. Whereas Evan utilized the vacant courtyard space on the elementary school playground backtop area and designed and supervised the building of a variety of raised and ground level flower beds, 4 picnic tables with umbrellas and handicap accessible ramps. This outdoor learning space and garden has created opportunities for teachers, students, and the community to connect more with the natural world and learn the importance of agriculture. Now therefore be it resolved that the Township Committee extends its sincere congratulations and best wishes to Evan's parents, family, and friends on this happy occasion. And be it further resolved that the Township Committee also extends its congratulations and appreciation to the Scoutmasters and others who give so freely and generously of their time for the benefit of our youth. So I'd ask you to come up so that we can congratulate you. We get some pictures with you because this is a great accomplishment. And a round of congratulations.
Congratulations. Thank you.
Would you like to say something? I don't want to say anything, but everybody sort of like falls back on that one. So, but we do want to make sure we get pictures so that you get the recognition you deserve. And a round of applause again for Evan. And as I always say, you're welcome to stay, and your family is welcome to stay. I know we have a bunch of people here with you, but you're certainly also welcome to go. It is a school night, and we all recognize that. So, thank you.
Evan is shipping out for the United States Navy tomorrow.
Standing ovation.
Thank you.
Back to the leadership role.
There you go.
All right, so what we will now go to is approval of the minutes from January 6, 2020, the reorganization minutes.
Motion to approve?
Second.
Let's call the roll.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
And Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion is carried.
So Scott, do you have anything for us this evening?
Yes, good evening, Mayor and committee members. Just one thing this evening. As you know, we've had many projects over the last several months from Public Works. One, I just wanted to give you and provide you an update. A fencing project started today from Murphy's Fencing at our Caldwell Park tennis courts. So all the old fencing that you've seen there is all being replaced, and we've had several requests over the past year regarding that, so that should spruce up that entire area. In addition to several other projects that we're going to be working on over the next several months to enhance that entire park area. So just wanted to bring that to your attention and showing that we have several projects underway. And that's all I have tonight.
Thank you.
Okay. Barbara, do you have anything for us this evening?
Nothing this evening, sir.
Okay.
Thank you.
You feeling better?
Yes.
Good.
I am. Thank you very much.
Good to hear. Daniel?
Nothing at this time, but we do have a handful of matters for closed session.
Okay. Paul?
Thank you. First, I just wanted to update you. Met with the contractor who's going to be reconstructing the bulkheads. Based on their material delivery, they're looking like they'll be able to start the first half of March to get those bulkheads installed. It'll take about 3 weeks to complete the project. We had some really fortunate weather this winter, and I'll just report that we're going to be paving the crosswalks over on Commonwealth Avenue and Bayview Drive tomorrow, but other than that, they did the final paving last Friday. Everything turned out well, and so those projects are done. And both of those were NJDOT grant projects that were funding those projects. Other than that, I didn't have anything else to report.
Okay. Barbara?
I have nothing this evening.
Wow. Committeeman Coggins?
Well, my colleagues have had an opportunity to read their mail from last week. You'll notice that we had a request from some township citizens to become a Second Amendment sanctuary. Now, this is something that the county has done. This is something that Middle Township has done. And I would like to ask your consideration on passing a resolution to become a Second Amendment sanctuary.
Second.
Is that done by resolution or by vote?
At the next meeting, I believe, that's what most of the other towns have done.
You will have to grab a copy of the resolution, correct? Okay. Just need direction?
So we have a first and a second. I just wanted to clarify whether or not we could do that by resolution and by
Yes.
ordinance.
No ordinance, just resolution.
Okay, would you call the roll, please?
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
And Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion is carried.
And nothing else this evening for me. Thank you.
Okay, thank you for your efforts earlier at the workshop, and I know we still got a lot of work to do with the budget, but
We'll get there.
we're getting there. Deputy Mayor Barr?
How are we doing with the leaves? Guess we're just about done, huh, Craig? All done?
All done.
Good job. Guess everybody saw that their leaves were gone, so Mother Nature worked with us a little bit. That's all I have.
All right. Committeeman Corson?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Saturday was our rabies clinic. We did 124 dogs, 20 cats were vaccinated, and 89 licenses were sold. I think it's the first Saturday in February is the next one. I'm not sure, but our website has it. If I forget the date, I'm sorry.
I thought it was later in the month.
It's sometime in February. Our website has the date. Then the rescue squad will have roses for sale, I think starting Tuesday, February 11th through Valentine's Day, or they sell it, the 12th. So if anybody needs something for a significant other, the rescue squad will have roses. And that's all I have.
Okay, and speaking of the rescue squad, I just want to say that I attended the installation of the new officers for the volunteer squad, and there were a significant amount of folks that were at the meeting, so that turned out to be nice. And again, congratulations to our new chief and deputy chief. I know that you've got a lot of things going on, and there are a lot of reorganization of the rescue squad, so thank you for all your efforts. That's all I have. So Barbara, let's move on to the resolutions.
Accepting a performance bond for affordable housing development for Osprey Cove at Block 567, Lot 24.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
And Mayor Plummer.
Yes.
Carried. 3, appointing Jerry H. Steiner to serve as an additional municipal public defender on an as-needed basis.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson? Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mayor Plummer?
Yes.
Motion is carried. 4, appointing Douglas K. Walker to serve as an additional municipal prosecutor on an as-needed basis.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson? And Mayor Plummer.
Yes.
Yes.
Motion is carried. Item number 5, appointing Sockler Realty Services Group Incorporated as an appraiser for the Township of Upper.
Motion to appoint.
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
And Mayor Plummer.
Yes.
Motion is carried. 6, authorizing the mayor and township clerk to sign a contract with Phoenix Advisors for municipal advisory services.
Motion to authorize.
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
And Mayor Plummer.
Yes.
Motion is carried. 7, authorizing the mayor and township clerk to sign and submit a safety contract for participation in the Atlantic County Municipal Joint Insurance Fund 2020 Safety Incentive Program.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
And Mayor Palumbo.
Yes.
Carried. 8, authorizing professional services contract with Cape May County Council on Alcoholism and Drug Abuse for an employee assistance program for township employees.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo.
Yes.
Motion is carried. Item number 9, approving the application of the Marmora Volunteer Fire Company for highway coin drops.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
And Mayor Palumbo.
Yes.
Carried. 10, authorizing the Township of Upper to accept an emergency management performance grant, emergency management agency assistance subaward from the State of New Jersey Department of Law and Public Safety.
Move the resolution.
Second.
And Scott, this is the,
$10,000.
call the roll, please.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
And Mayor Palumbo.
Yes.
Motion is carried. Item number 11 is reserve budget transfers.
Motion approved.
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion is carried. 12, cancel tax sale certificate for block 245, lot 18.
Motion approved.
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion is carried. 13, authorizing the purchase of a variable message board in the amount of $17,745 from the 2018 Capital Improvement Bond Ordinance and the 2020 Emergency Management and Road Repairs and Maintenance Operating Expenses budgetary lines.
Move the resolution, please.
Second.
Yeah, and I'm just curious, where do we determine a spot? I know we were floating around where we're going to have this sign.
This is a portable message board, I believe, that can be moved throughout the township. And it's going to, my understanding is it's predominantly in use by the emergency management coordinator.
Actually, just the opposite. It's predominantly going to be used by the public works and events for any recreation
okay.
events. But we will have availability during storms and things of that. Absolutely to replace the one we have. It's just, that was end of life.
What do we do with it?
We still have it.
Dug
We still
deals.
have it.
Okay.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mayor Plumbo?
Yes.
Ms. Carey. 13, authorizing the chief financial officer to sign a spending account administration form with Trian Group and Marcia McLennan Agency, TAMMA Market Link, for a qualified transportation reimbursement account.
Motion to authorize.
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion is carried. 15, renewing the mining licenses for the license year 2020. And I'd like to make one comment on this. Item number 18 was listed previously as a requesting an extension after print of the agenda, after sending the agenda out. They are now in compliance. So all of the mining licenses are included in the resolution for renewal for the year 2020.
Move the resolution.
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
And Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion is carried. Item number 16, Country Shore Women's Club requests to hold a bingo, number VA 525, and a raffle, number 526, at St. Maximilian Colby Parish for March 28th, 2020.
Move to allow.
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
And Mayor Plumbo?
Yes.
Motion is carried. 17, Greater Tuckahoe Area Merchants Association requests to hold a bingo, number 527, at Tuckahoe Volunteer Fire Company on March 7th, 2020.
Move the grant approval.
Second.
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
And Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion is carried.
I hereby move that all claims submitted for payment at this meeting be approved and then incorporated into the full minutes of this meeting.
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion is carried.
There are 3 reports from our municipal departments: Animal Control, MUA, and Tax Collector, 2019 Annual Report. These reports will be available upon request of the clerk's office tomorrow. However, I'll make a motion to accept the reports.
Second.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion is carried.
So at this time, we're going to open it up to the public. If anyone in the public would like to address the Township Committee, now's the time to do so. I'd ask that you come up to the podium, state your name, your address, and your reason for addressing the Township Committee.
Thank you. Good evening. My name is Tom Bader. I live at 30 East Winthrop, and I wanted to talk to you tonight about the proposed sidewalk for Neptune Avenue in Strathmere. Thank you for the opportunity to speak.
Sure.
So in short, Neptune Avenue does not need a sidewalk, period. This idea that a sidewalk is necessary for Neptune because of a perceived safety issue isn't supported by any evidence to suggest that there's really a safety issue. There's no evidence to show that installing a sidewalk is going to impact any proposed safety issue, and it has zero support from the people who would be impacted by the sidewalk. The proposal from last summer simply states there is no sidewalk there and we want to build a sidewalk. There's nothing supporting the idea that this current situation poses a danger. Neptune Avenue is a narrow, quiet street. It's in the most remote, furthest area of Strathmere. There's no through traffic. The reason people go on Neptune is either they want to get to a house or they want to go to the beach. It's a narrow lane. I think it's 18 feet for most of its width. It widens out all the way to 33 feet. It's a quiet haven, whether it's for the residents who live in the area or whether it's for visitors. This is kind of a typical summer day on Neptune Avenue with two kids walking right down the middle of the street and not a car in sight. And obviously, I didn't take this picture for tonight. This is the summer. This is the way it is. Yeah, that's the height of the summer. So with all due respect to Mr. Dietrich, I think that this proposal, which really has zero evidence to back it up, and as far as I know, has zero support rather, from the people who would be impacted by it, also poses the problem of where to put this sidewalk. And I appreciate his very reasonable approach. He's already conceded that it's going to be really hard to find a place for the sidewalk. But again, I'm not worried about where to place the sidewalk because I don't think the sidewalk is necessary at all. I recognize that Mr. Dietrich and the township are committed to having more sidewalks in Upper Township. And when it comes to new construction where you can integrate the sidewalk into the plan, I'm fine with all of that. But to jam an unnecessary sidewalk into an established, safe community is really an affront to the people who live there. We care about our neighborhood, and God knows we care about the safety of our children and the safety of our grandchildren. But there's no need for a sidewalk, and I urge the committee to shut this project down and not waste any more time, effort, or money on a pointless endeavor.
Okay.
Thank you for your attention.
Paul, where did the idea come from for the sidewalk on Neptune?
Well, we've had requests from residents in that area that there was a speeding problem and they were concerned about pedestrian safety. So that's, kind of where it started at its end. We had a resident go out and put their own, they purchased speed bumps, and on 2 separate occasions put speed bumps out there to slow traffic down for pedestrian safety. The picture that Mr. Rader showed of 2 young children walking down the middle of the road is not the location for pedestrians to be at. The town spent a lot of time and effort working to try to do a road diet down Commonwealth Avenue. Now granted, there's a lot more traffic, but pedestrian safety and walking was a concern and a request where the residents are shopping. That street is, I've talked to other people where, they may live over on Commonwealth or on the other parts of some of those side streets, and they kind of walk the block. They walk down Commonwealth, up one of the side streets, down Neptune, and back down the other block. And they make a circle of it, whether they're walking their dog, walking with their grandchildren or their children. But, the 2 houses that front on, there's only 2 houses that front on Commonwealth, and then you have at the intersecting street, the corner properties, but those houses, their driveways predominantly front the side streets. So, just from a standpoint of pedestrian circulation, it does make sense to have proper pedestrian safety where the pedestrians can walk out of the travel lane. They shouldn't be walking down the middle of the road, even regardless of how quiet. Because the same comments that they made, you had a lot of pedestrians try to walk down Commonwealth Avenue, and they talked about the high rate of speeds. Here we have less volume of traffic, but less volume of people. So it's the same, it's the same kind of a consideration, just in a different fashion.
But I should note that there are a number of rural areas on the mainland where people walk the street all the time, including myself with the dogs.
Actually, we have much wider, predominantly, we have much wider streets over.
I took my dog for a walk the other day and he walked right down the center of Neptune, so I mean, I wouldn't have walked on the sidewalk if he was there because he would have probably peed on somebody's grass, but.
I guess I can see the point that you're making, Paul, but I will tell you that we have received a number of, I have received a number of emails, and I apologize for not addressing them all because a lot of them all were the same issue, and I tried at it, but then I thought we're going to have a discussion on this anyway.
Is there anybody in the public for this project?
I haven't received it.
Okay. Well, I'd like to make a motion, we just pull the plug on the project and be done with it.
Well, hold on a second. Well, we're gonna have to research this because we put in for a grant.
Well, could
We
the,
received the grant, and what we need to do is
We
look
haven't received the funds,
into,
have we?
can
We
we
have not
find,
received the funds, but we have.
can we
received the
designate
letter.
another area that needs,
We haven't received the
Pedestrian
funds.
safety.
Hold on, we haven't received the funds yet.
no? Okay.
No.
We haven't received the funds, but have we signed an agreement where we'd have to get released from the agreement?
Yes.
Was there any, do you know off the top of your head whether there's any monetary obligation on our part if we pull?
No, there's no monetary agreement.
could the money from the grant be applied to improving the crossovers in that neighborhood? There are 3 or 4
No.
crossovers to the beach. You could not use that for improving the pedestrian walkways to the beach?
No. I mean, most of them are already improved.
All right, so, we have always, as far as I'm concerned, we've listened to residents throughout the township whenever there was concerns for certain issues, and this seems to be one where, at this point, the neighbors,
Are adamantly opposed.
so,
Is there a possibility that the funds could be used in another?
You'd have to make another application
You'd have to
for
make
another
another
grant.
application.
It's based on the application and the grant required sidewalks.
I mean,
Well, it's a pedestrian safety grant.
Right, I
So it's-
understand.
So it's a
Paul,
grant.
I'm not making a
specified there.
subjective comment. I'm just saying what was in the grant.
It just limits you to where you can use it.
There's no public support for this project. I don't think,
Well, I don't think you'd have public support here because it was not on the agenda, so people that would be potentially in support of the project didn't know to come tonight.
I know, but Paul, I have not received one email in support of it, and yet I've probably received 25 in opposition. I have them all right here. I mean, I do copy them, I do read them. I don't want anyone to think I'm not, if I haven't responded to you, I responded to several of them, and I apologize if I haven't, but it's only because some were CC'd, and I'm like, there were multiple names on a lot of the emails, but they did come from individual homeowners. I have to be honest with you, I'm more in favor of where Curtis is leaning.
Well, I made a motion,
The fact
so-
that, well, we haven't seconded it yet, but I'll second it for discussion. I just feel like if we haven't received the grant yet, it's not too late to just cut ties and move forward. So, unless anybody has anything else that they have, real hard feelings about it, then, I'd say we'll call the roll. It doesn't appear that there's, anybody else want to comment?
No, the motion is to scrap the project.
Yes.
Okay.
And to notify the state too, that we're pulling out of the funds.
Declining the
funding.
grant.
Right.
Yes.
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Coggins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mayor Palumbo?
Yes.
Motion is carried.
So that saved many of you probably from coming up to the podium.
We have the spokesperson.
Mr. Bader,
You did a great job.
I liked your email in particular because you were using 14-point font, it seems like, or at least 12. Some of them were at 7-point font. It's a little bit small for me to read, but again, I think this is a good example of, listening to what the neighborhood has to say, and I don't think we do things to purposely get people upset. I think there was a good intention to try and create a safety barrier, whether, and it didn't appear that that was something that the residents that are living there, both year-round and the temporary residents, or, those that are here for the summertime, were in opposition to it. But it wasn't meant to create a lot of strife and turmoil for folks. It was more in good faith that, maybe, at the time it looked like it, seemed like a pretty good project. So, never fear, that's why we have these opportunities to address the Township Committee. So, thank you for all your responses and made our job easier in making the decisions. So.
If I could add one thing, Mayor? Thank you. Thank you. Just to let you know, this just didn't fall out of the sky. What happened was, through the past few summers, Paul was trying to address an issue that was there. Unfortunately, we had other citizens putting out their own speed bumps. So, it's, like the mayor said, it's good that we had this dialogue and address what the issues are.
No, we don't want to see the resident speed bumps out there anymore either.
Yes.
right?
Understood. We will, I assure you that will not be a problem.
Okay. That's a fair trade.
You're here.
All right. All right, thank you. Anyone else would like to address the Township Committee?
No, I guess you put a pin in your balloon.
I'm looking at the clock thinking this is almost impossible that we're only here for a half hour. in open session, but I will say at least we worked an hour and a half before that. So, and we do have some issues on the executive session or closed session. So if there isn't any further public comment, I'm going to make all of your lives a lot easier so that you can go home earlier. And I'll make a motion to go out of public session and entertain a motion to go into executive session.
I hereby move that a resolution be incorporated into the minutes authorizing the Township Committee to enter into an executive session for the following matters pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act. The matters are contract negotiation for special legal counsel for in-rem foreclosure matters, litigation for tax appeals at BL England, and potential litigation for site plan violations. Also personnel. I also include in my motion the estimated time and the circumstances under which the discussion conducted in closed session can be disclosed to the public as follows. It is anticipated that the matters discussed in closed session may be disclosed to the public upon the determination of the Township Committee that the public interest will no longer be served by such confidentiality. With respect to employment and personnel matters, such discussions will be made public if and when formal action is taken or when the individuals involved consent that it can be made public. With respect to contract negotiations, such matters will be made public when negotiations have ceased and there is no longer a reason for confidentiality. With respect to litigation matters, such discussions will be made public when litigation is complete and the applicable appeal period has expired.
Second. Would you call the roll?
Mr. Barr?
Yes.
Mr. Robbins?
Yes.
Mr. Corson?
Yes.
Mayor Plumbo?
Yes.
Motion carried.
Thank you all for attending this evening, and thank you for all your comments. It's really important for the Township Committee to hear, your opinions on some of the things that we may propose or do, and we hope that we can continue to work with all of you, all the residents, addressing the issues that are being proposed. So have a safe journey back, and have a good night.
Thank you so much.
Good night.